I don't know about you, but sometimes I get tired of hearing about what to do in this, quote, new reality of coronavirus, COVID-19. Sometimes I get real tired of hearing about it, but given this is where we are, I want to talk about it just a little bit more in relation to self-storage, particularly in relation to filling up your self-storage facility that's in lease up during the age of coronavirus. Let's talk about that today. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And what I do is I support the small investor who wants to get in the self-storage business or who wants to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth in a fulfilling career. And here's what I do know. What we were doing in 2019 isn't what we're doing in 2020. It's a totally different world in terms of marketing, especially if you're in lease up and filling up a facility at the moment. So before we start talking about marketing in today's environment, let's get a high look. Let's get a 30,000 foot view of the landscape that's going on right now. First of all, we're dealing with a very empowered consumer. On their phones in their pockets, or on their computers, or on their pads, they have access to more information than you can even imagine. They know what your facility looks like, how your facility stacks up in relation to the competition and what's important to them, and they can know it very, very quickly. The consumer knows a lot today, and they can see when something doesn't add up. So just know that if someone is in your sub-market and they're considering leasing self-storage, as long as you show up online, and if you're not, my suggestion, and you're not going to start showing up online, my suggestion is list your facility for sale pretty quick, because it's soon going to be very irrelevant in today's market. But your consumer will know more about your facility than they've ever had access to before. Even baby boomers who just less than a year ago didn't even know how to use Siri are now using their phones and their computers to get their groceries and to have meals delivered to them through Uber. Even boomers are using technology today at a rate they never have before. So you're dealing with an empowered consumer who's spending more time at home than ever before, has more time on their hands than ever before, has access to more information than they've ever had before, and for the most part, they're concerned, scared, and unsure about their own economy and their own economic well-being, as well as the economy in general. So as you look down at the landscape that's supporting your storage business as you go through the lease-up phase today, that's what you're marketing into. So how do you do it? Well, you don't do it the way you did it a year ago. What do you say to that consumer that will have them come and rent space from you? Well, maybe what we say tells more about us than the consumer. Who knows? Maybe not. But let me share with you my thoughts on it at the moment. So I'm going to talk about your story. What is the story of your self-storage business? My suggestion is create one or have one. Know what it is. So many of you are watching this because you know my story. My story was I was a commercial real estate agent living from basically transaction to transaction. One of the transactions happened to be self-storage, and I saw what this business really was and what the potential of it is, and I wonder, how can a guy like me get in this business? Well, I figured out how to do it, and now I share with other small investors so they can get in and get the benefits, the life-changing benefits that this business can offer. That's my story, and for many of you that appealed to you. You could relate to it. Consumers, no matter how sophisticated or unsophisticated they are, relate to stories. What is the story of your business? I've worked with one person, for example, who's in a market where one of the REITs, the large REITs, has a huge market share in that market. And the pricing in that market is extremely high. And his story is he saw that and saw that somebody needs to step up and create an alternative for the customer in that marketplace where the prices are more realistic and in line with the rest of the country. That's his story. So he created a facility, he's creating another one, and that's the story behind their business. You know, one of our stories is that we're in a marketplace with a lot of REITs, big publicly traded companies, and we're a small player in a sea of big companies. And we treat you, when you rent from us, you're part of our community, and we treat you the way we would treat our family members. We're not going to raise rents on you 3-5 times a year simply because we can. Why? We wouldn't do that to our family member. When you're a customer of ours, you're part of our family, and we treat you that way. So that's one of our stories around our company, and it's included in our marketing, and more importantly, all of the team members know the story, relate to the story, and then from that, all of our marketing, what we say, the offers we make, all come out of the context of what is the story of our business. What is the story of your business? Create a story. People relate to stories. Now, it's good to have maybe your story told by somebody or by one of the owners on a video on the homepage. That's great. But what's more important is that everybody on the team knows it, and you use that story to create what your offers are and how you're going to position and what you're going to say about those offers in the marketplace. So, for example, everyone knows about the large company that offers $1 for your first month's rent. Well, if you want to use that, if we want to use that, we would use that inside our story. So we would offer $1 for the first month, but we wouldn't stop there. We would say, we're not going to do what our competitor does, who offers you the $1 for the first month. We're going to lock your second month's rent in for 6 months or a year or whatever we would need to do in that submarket. Why? Well, because when you're rent from us, you're part of our community, and we treat everyone in our community like family, and we wouldn't do that to our family members, raise their rent 3 or 4 times a year just because we can. So whatever story you create, have all of your offers and all of your marketing be languaged and positioned inside that story. The public relates to storage as a commodity. Your job is to differentiate you so that they can and make it easy for them to say yes to you. Now, I don't care how good I am or how good you are, you're not going to generate demand for storage in your sub-market or in your market area. You're just not that good. You can't create demand. What our job is to take whatever demand is out there and funnel it to our facility. And we do that through our offers and through the story about what our company is that differentiates us from the competitors. And in today's environment, I think that's more critical than ever. Yes, you may be offering more discounts than you ever did before, but today, the story and how you position the offers inside your story are more critical than ever. We know what the average value of our customer is, and it's different in every facility. I've had episodes on how to calculate the average value of a customer. We can figure out how much rent we're giving away with this offer, and we can know how much we can spend online to market that message to our sub-market. So I know how much I can spend in the marketing and still make a profit. We're not guessing at this, and we're having to spend more today per lease than we've had in a long, long time. For some companies, more than they've ever had. Now, will this strategy work in today's market? I don't know. We're testing it, and we're testing it against something else. And then once we figure out what strategy works, we'll drop the other one, scale that one, and then bring a new one on. And we're always testing, always trying stuff out, always figuring and trying to get better and better at what we do. My coaching is, don't turn your marketing over to a vendor and just hope they know what they're doing. Be involved in it. Be involved in the story. Be involved in the strategy. Be involved particularly in the words used and the offer that you're going to give, because that offer needs to be inside the context of the story of your business. And as an owner, this is where you can actually have fun with marketing. In my coaching is have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's an ongoing learning process. You're not there. And anyone who tells you they know exactly what to do to market your property online, those are the people I would avoid. Because what we have found, that what works well at one facility isn't going to work at another facility, and that facility could be in the exact same city. It's strange, but each submarket has its own nuances today. And what works well one place doesn't necessarily work well in another. We got to constantly be trying new things and figuring out what's working. And then when you get something that's working, scale that, but try to figure out what else is working. Because what's working today won't be working most likely 6 months from now. So have fun in this world of marketing today, inside the new reality that we find ourselves in. My name is Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer. It's a financial analysis modeling tool we use when we're looking at acquiring or putting self-storage in service. If you're using Excel, great. We still do too sometimes, but we use the analyzer every day as we're looking at projects to consider acquiring. I invite you to look at it, storageworldanalyzer.com or creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com. Hit the Storage World Analyzer tab. Thank you very much, and I look forward to being with you next week.